And welcome back to Udwin. Today's Udwin comes to us from Tamon. Let me get that name right. Tamon DB, who you might have seen another one from them a little while ago. That is because they had given me a suggestion someone previously had, so therefore everyone's suggestions always get lumped together when it's something someone suggested that multiple people suggested. Everyone gets the shout out. That's why this name's coming again. But you asked a very interesting question. Who wins in a fight between Timmy Turner, Cosmo, Wanda, and Grim, Billy, and Mandy? That's actually a very interesting question. Let's look at side A here, or Billy, Grim, Billy, and Mandy. So obviously, Billy and Mandy are, the two owners, I guess you could say. Billy and Mandy. Hold on. That's actually a good question. First of all, I want to know, I can't remember how old either of them are. They're not much older than, say, early single digit or early double digits. Billy, okay, they're both 9. All right, so you're both single digits, whereas Timmy's at least 10. But they are both two normal human children. Well, normal. Billy is extremely dumb, and Mandy is highly intelligent, extremely cynical, extremely smart, and quite possibly evil. In fact, there are many interpretations of her in alternate continuities where she does turn evil. But due to the death of their hamster, or to his hamster, they were able to basically trick the Death himself into basically being their minion, like for all eternity. He is under their ownership, more or less, and that's a pretty powerful thing. Now that said, Grimm's abilities are very are very nebulous. There's nothing exactly coherent about what Grimm can do exactly. Because let's be honest, this fight is them sicking Grimm on Timmy, Cosmo, and Wanda. That's what this fight is. Although I'm sure Mandy is more than willing to, get in the fray if she really wants to. But in terms of his actual abilities, he's a supernatural creature of the other world. His naturally tremendously powerful supernatural abilities, such as being able to grow in size and warp his form, the ability to possess the living, as seen in Get Out of My Head. As an undead talking magical skeleton, he's completely... as an undead talking magical skeleton, Grimm is a completely animated skeleton of bones that is to function both as a complete skeleton or independently as individual bones. Grimm has been seen creating flames whenever his temper flares. Even his eyes will shoot flames when he gets angry or determined. He can also be seen that he has telekinesis. He uses this when he flew the chupacabra tape into his hand out of the VCR. Beyond this, Grimm has demonstrated the use of spells in earlier episodes, consulting with otherworld editions of books and manuals as magic when Mandy went away for a day. Grimm has used some of Billy's toys to make a Mandy substitute to keep Billy company. Grimm's own copies of otherworld tomes, such as the Bad Book, Destruction Manual, New Jersey Book of the Dead, and the Monster Manual Volume 1. Possibly, because of his profession as Grim Reaper, he has the power to extend any living thing's lifetime by adding sand to their hourglass, shown as by manufacturing Father Time. When he does to Jeff, so that he can keep scaring Billy, saying that while he doesn't like spiders, he loves watching Billy wet his pants. Grimm's scythe is also, it's the Grim Reaper scythe. As the most prominent weapon of the Grim Reaper, his powers stem from his scythe. For the most part, Grimm is dependent upon his scythe in the series for his powers, and usually rendered powerless when disarmed, but he has been shown capable of magical feats without it as well. He does have other magical artifacts. He possesses a magical trunk larger than the inside is outside. Stores God knows how many magical things unrelated to his profession. He admits he used to play that Stairway to Heaven thing back in school and is very good at playing at the guitar, or bad depending on one's interpretation, seeing as when he once played Stairway to Heaven on the street, it sounded good, but it also tore down the surrounding neighborhood. Grimm played the lead in the guitar. He's a guitarist. He also loves to play golf and mini golf. He's apparently the one person immune to the hand of horror, This is due to the fact that since being forced to be Billy and Mandy's best friend, he has lived his worst nightmare every day, and so the hand doesn't show him anything new. Being a skeleton also gives him a natural talent for limbo. So yeah, Grimm he obviously necromancy is another big thing. He can in fact raise the dead. He is extremely powerful. I mean, he's death. He is the Grim Reaper. But what does Cosmo, Wanda, and Timmy bring? Well, Timmy does bring imagination to the table. He is older than Billy and Mandy. But, I mean, it's clear Mandy is the smarter of the two. So it could be very easy for her to trick Timmy if he's not careful. That said, when we actually talk about the abilities of Cosmo and Wanda, while they are limited by the fairy rule book, which does have a lot of, like, you cannot kill someone with the fairy rule book. You cannot, let's see, you can't hurt someone, like, you just can't maim them or hurt them or dead. You can't kill, you can't maim, you can't hurt, can't make someone fall in love, if I'm not mistaken. There are limitations to the fairy's power. That said, from what they see, they can conjure pretty much anything out of thin air. They can make anything a reality. They can pretty much warp the world to the user's whim so long as it stays within the guidelines of the world. And they can, in fact, bring the dead back to life. We see this when Timmy is with King Arthur, and Artie just gets killed by a dragon. He's like, guys, we can take a crack at it. And it's like, I can breathe, I can fight. And like, they can bring the dead back to life. So, Bill, the fact is, they in theory could bring Grimm, to the world of the living, like make him a living creature again. They can't kill him, but he's already dead. So they could take the problem for this fight in terms of power is the fact that Grimm, for all of his power, actually kind of comes up short when you look at what all the fairies and Fairly Odd Parents have been capable of doing overall. Whereas the fairies, they can even nullify most of, in fact, they could take Grimm's powers away with a wish. There's nothing to say. Like, they stopped Santa, who was a fairy himself and a very powerful one during Christmas. They stopped Santa from basically doing what he was doing by making Christmas last for the entire year. Everything was, basically it was eternal Christmas. So they seem to have a just overall greater level of power, but the big difference between the two of them obviously is that Grimm can actually kill someone. So they're not immune to death. We know fairies are not immune to death. We know Timmy's not immune to death, and Grimm is death. So the question quickly becomes, first off, how would these two meet? Or how these groups meet? And then if they had to come at odds with each other, who's going to get the victory? How they come into battle, I'd say Mandy. It's Mandy. It's either Mandy or Timmy noticing the Grim Reaper around. And Cosmo's like, oh, yeah, don't worry about him. He lost a bet years ago. He lost a bet a while back. And yeah, as long as you don't get on his bad side, he's fine. But I do think it would be Mandy who's like, what are you? We're fairies. Fairies is, we're Fairly Godparents. We grant wishes to our kid and try to cheer them up and make them happy. It's like, wishes Grimm. Can you grant wishes? The wishes, I cannot. What is your wish? I'm trying not to make it sound like a Vader, but he had a very thick Jamaican accent. It's like, what is your wish? It's like, look, I'm not a fairy, okay? I'm not gonna even bother trying to do the accent anymore. But I'll just do a different. I'm not a fairy, okay? It's like, I don't grant you. You want wishes? Get a fairy godparent. You're miserable enough. Fine. You wish me a fairy godparent. It's like, what? I'm not gonna wish you a fairy godparent. It's like, besides, that even rules. It's like, she just like, technically, no, it's not in the rules. Says you can't do that. We can't do that. But yeah, we only grant wishes to him. Grimm, fine. Grimm, make him wish me. So, look, can you just do something about this? Honestly, he wouldn't have tried to go like that face you see right there. That's the face he has. Like, look, help me out here. Come on. It's like, look, no, I'm not doing that. It's like, someone like her having the power, having fairy godparents, that'd be a nightmare. That we agree. I like it. Oh, I agree with you. That I kind of like this kid. It's like, wait, you could wish me out of my contract with them, couldn't you? For the sake of arguments, because honestly, they might be able to do that. That's how the power of fairies kind of goes. They might actually be able to break the contract he has with them. But let's, for this argument's sake, that they can't break like deals with death himself. It's like, no. And it's like, fine, Grim. It's like, sorry, kid, nothing personal. I wish he lost all his powers. What? No. Then, yeah, that's basically it. Grim's just done, and Grim would be now alive. Basically, that's how he loses all his powers. Like, I'm alive. I'm not death anymore. It's like, yeah, well, yeah, actually, I guess that's technically a loophole, isn't it? What did you do? What did you? Is it? Yeah, he's alive. He's alive now. So I'm freezing. Yeah, I wish they were back. I wish they were back at their place and completely forgot this conversation. Completely forgot everything that happened. It's like, and then it's like, what happened? And then Grim's back as Grim. Grim, though, remember. Yeah, well, he's going to be able to remember. He is still death, after all, if we're going to be undoing everything. Yeah, sure, whatever. And Grim's just like, it's like, what are you smiling about? Oh, nothing, just in a good mood today. Because it's like, it was nice to see. He's like, oh, someone got one up on her. Oh, that worked. That makes me feel happy in these bones. Because really, when you break it down, Timmy just has to say, I wish, and then whatever he wants quickly. And Cosmo and Wanda got to grant it. And Grim's power doesn't supersede the fairies, from what we can tell. Again, the only real distinction he has between them is he can actually kill someone because he's deaf. So as long as Timmy says, I wish, quick enough, which I'm certain he would, it's going to be Cosmo and Wanda and Timmy who win the day. Now, could Mandy outsmart Timmy to make a wish in her favor? I do think she has the capability of doing that. I just think the situation does not allow her to take advantage of him quick enough. So I will go Timmy, Cosmo, and Wanda for the win. But that's just my opinion. Honestly, I loved both these shows. I didn't love like when we introduced Poof and all that stuff. Yeah. But no, and the dog and whatever. But I did love Very Odd Parents growing up. I loved Billy and Mandy. That's some classic cartoon right there, my friend. So who do you got in this? I got Timmy, Cosmo, and Wanda. But if you think Billy, Mandy, and Grim could win, or Grim, Billy, and Mandy, however you want to say it, yep, that's cool too. Let me know why you think that is. Don't just say, well, Grim and Billy and Mandy. Well, no, obviously give me at least an explanation of why you think they would win. That's my only condition for it's like, tell me who you think could win. I mean, give me a reason why you think they'd win. But try to understand both sides of the fence before you argue it. That's all I ask. But anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. As always, who wants to review something, put in the comments below. Let us know. We'll do a review of it at some point. Hit that bell if you want to be notified, and I'll catch you folks later.